Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so glad you're joining us because today we are stepping into a narrative that is just as captivating as it is absolutely devastating. We're doing a really deep dive investigation into a story sourced from a chilling social tale. It's a story of trust, brutal betrayal, and a mystery that literally unfolds in the freezing heights of the mountains. It's a tragic tale, really. I mean, it's one that dismantles a happy family in an absolute instant. So today, I want you to pay close attention to the structure of how a deception like this is built from the ground up, and ultimately, how it all comes crashing down.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Just think about this for a second. How does a seemingly perfect 7-year marriage end in a calculated tragedy? It's a pretty eerie premise, right? We so often look at couples who have crossed that half-decade mark and just kind of assume that a deep, unshakable foundation has been laid. But, well, as our source material reveals, the surface can be incredibly deceiving. What happens when the person you trust most in the entire world is quietly scripting your downfall? Let's unpack the mechanics of this story and see exactly how this nightmare became a reality.
Section 1. A seemingly perfect marriage. 7 years of trust. It's almost like looking at a split screen of someone's life, you know? There is just this stark contrast between these two realities. Over on side A, the outside view, we are introduced to Rohit and Pooja. They're a couple living in a gorgeous Indian hill station, and they've been married for about 7 years. To anyone looking in from the outside, their life was absolutely picture perfect. The source notes specifically that Rohit was a hard-working, totally honest man. He loved his wife deeply, he cared for her every happiness, no matter how small. But then, you look at side B, the hidden reality. While Rohit was completely devoted and honestly completely unaware, a dark deception was hiding just beneath the surface of the 7-year marriage. There was an old lover, and a very real conspiracy was quietly brewing right under Rohit's nose.
Section 2. The secret lover returns. A dangerous reconnection.
Enter Vikram. So, according to the source, Vikram was Pooja's old lover. And here is the really crucial point. Even after her marriage to Rohit, the connection between Pooja and Vikram never actually ended. Slowly, over time, their communication resumed. And as the years passed, they grew closer and closer once again. And this right here is where the psychology of the betrayal hardens into something much, much more dangerous. Vikram and Pooja didn't just want to be together anymore, they made a chilling decision. They decided that Rohit was the biggest hurdle in their path. The devoted husband wasn't a partner anymore. To them, he had just become an obstacle. An obstacle that needed to be permanently removed.
Section 3. The deadly mountain trip, the fatal conspiracy.
You know, her deception was just brilliantly chilling. Pooja literally just turns to Rohit and says, "It's been a while since we went anywhere. Why not go to a hill station this week?" It sounds so innocent, doesn't it? Just a spouse wanting to spend some quality time together. And Rohit, being the ever-loving husband, was thrilled. He naively accepted the trip, genuinely thinking it was a loving gesture from his wife. He had absolutely no idea that the person he trusted most had just invited him to his own meticulously planned demise.
The actual execution of this crime was cold and calculated. Let's break it down. Step 1, the travel. Rohit is thoroughly enjoying the trip, right? He's taking in the beautiful mountains, the cold winds, the breathtaking scenery. And one evening, Pooja leads him up to an isolated mountain peak. Then comes step 2, the ambush. Vikram is already up there hiding in the shadows, just waiting. And Rohit is completely oblivious. Which brings us to step 3, the fatal push. As Rohit stands there, looking out over the beautiful valley, just simply admiring the view, he's suddenly attacked from behind. The surprise attack causes him to lose his balance, and he plummets into the deep gorge below. It is such a terrifying contrast, a moment of serene natural beauty just completely shattered by an act of absolute calculated violence. Pooja and Vikram walked away, truly believing that their obstacle was finally removed forever.
So they left the scene, totally confident they could stage it as a tragic accident. But can the truth really stay hidden? I mean, they thought they had committed the perfect crime, an isolated cliff, a tragic slip, a grieving widow. But as we all know, a lie of this magnitude, it rarely stays buried for long.
Section 4. Unraveling the alibi, the digital footprint.
Now, initially, the police actually did think it was just an accident, but things just weren't adding up. The criminals were ultimately undone by the one thing they couldn't hide, their digital footprint. The investigating officers started pulling phone records. They analyzed location data. They uncovered these highly suspicious messages between Pooja and Vikram. The source details how, under deep and rigorous police interrogation, their perfect alibi just rapidly fell apart. Every single digital breadcrumb they left behind directly contradicted their story. The truth, which was hiding out there in data and cell towers the whole time, finally came to light. The entire conspiracy was exposed.
Section 5. The price of betrayal, justice, and devastation.
Look at this timeline. It really shows you exactly how fast a whole life can just unravel. For years 1 through 7, we see this solid foundation of trust being built. Well, at least in Rohit's eyes, right? He gave his absolute all to his family. But then comes the reconnection, where the hidden deception begins behind his back. And that builds right into the trip, the ultimate physical and emotional betrayal that resulted in Rohit's tragic death. But it doesn't end there. The timeline concludes with the arrest. Justice served. Pooja and Vikram really thought they could outsmart the law and escape the truth, but they were arrested. However, we have to remember, the victory of justice doesn't somehow erase the tragedy. Rohit's family was completely shattered by the very person he trusted most.
So what is the real takeaway for us here? The source provides a very clear, explicit moral. Deceit might win the moment, but truth and justice always carve a path. The foundation of absolutely any relationship is trust. When greed, lies, and deceit enter a relationship, the end is almost always tragic. A crime is never, ever a valid solution to a problem. The path of truth and honesty might be difficult sometimes, but as this story so clearly proves, it is literally the only path that holds up in the end. The people who break trust might feel like they're winning for a short time, but the truth will inevitably find its way out.
Which kind of brings me to a final thought I want to leave you guys with today. While a lie can shatter a family in an instant, what are the true foundations that keep your own relationship secure? It's a heavy story we've unpacked in today's explainer for sure, but it really forces us to reflect on the immense value of honesty and communication in our own lives. Trust is a fragile, beautiful thing, you know? It takes years to build, and as we've just seen, only a split second to push over the edge. Thank you so much for joining me to explore this story, and I really hope it leaves you thinking about the foundations in your own life. Until next time, keep learning and keep asking the right questions.